Hey, this is Anney.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff I Never Told You, a production of iHeartRadio. And today, spoilers abound, because we are talking about Supergirl and related comics and other material. I've never seen Supergirl, so apologies if I get anything wrong. Please let me know. Samantha, you've never seen it either?
So I have never seen any of the WB Supergirl. I have seen her when she does the crossover because I did watch Flash and I watched parts of the Arrow. So there was a lot of crossover between the Flash and Supergirl. And then like when DC does their thing, which is very confusing. And I had to be like, what the hell is happening? I don't know what's going on type of level. So I know of the person who plays that character who is actually on Glee. And she has gone through some things, y'all, and has made it on top. Yeah, it was a whole thing. But that's about all. So I know Melissa Benoist, but I knew her from Glee when I was still kind of watching. But she's been through some things, yeah. So that's about all. That's all I know. I know they can cross over, and she flies.
Well, you might know some of this then, because this character we're talking about, Nia Nal, did appear in The Flash and the Arrowverse, but I think only briefly.
Who is she?
Well,
tell me. I'm excited.
Let me explain. And again, listeners, please feel free to write in and correct me. So Nia Nal, or the Dreamer, is half human and half Noltorian. And Noltorians are an alien race in the DC universe, and she grew up in this hidden alien refugee sanctuary close to Metropolis. She is depicted by Nicole Maines, a trans activist herself, and we'll talk more about that later. The character first appeared in DC Pride issue #1 in 2022, and was the first trans character in the Arrowverse and the first trans superhero on network television. And she had to face transphobia from all around, including her family, in her character arc. Her powers allow her to get visions of the future in her dreams, and she can convert mental energy to physical energy and can astral project. The Noltorians pass on their powers from mothers to daughters, and that was done very purposefully, that it was passed on from mother to daughter. And a clarification, this is kind of confusing to me because, again, I haven't consumed a lot of this media. She first appeared in a 2018 episode of the TV show Supergirl called American Alien. But I guess her character's introduction is often attributed to the comics in terms of continuity, because continuity is such a mess in these comics. Some people usually say she first appeared in that 2022 issue, but I'm pretty sure her first actual instance of appearing was this 2018 episode. She also appeared in a 2022 Fortnite event where she was the third playable trans character that they've ever had, and Maines reprised the role in a 2023 episode of The Flash. So this character, the Dreamer, worked alongside Kara, Supergirl, as a reporter. She has a degree in international affairs from Georgetown, and she was a political speechwriter and worked for the White House press secretary. She was concerned about anti-alien and anti-trans hate on the rise. To that end, yes, she goes on to pursue reporting. She's trying to kind of build her story and show why this is really bad and why it's rising. When she gets her powers, her sister, who had trained in the realm of dream interpretation, is really angry about it because she wanted the powers and disowns her. Kara opens up about her own superhero identity to befriend Nia. When Kara is framed for a crime, Nia doesn't buy it, doesn't believe it happened. She takes up the mantle of city superhero while they work to clear Kara's name and combat the anti-alien hatred. Through this, Nia helps defeat a supervillain and starts dating Brainy, a fellow alien. Soon after she takes on the role of the Dreamer, she has this vision of the death of the Justice League, and she's able to warn the then Superman, John Kent, about it. She joins forces with him to liberate Gamora, which, by the way, this very much confused me, but we're talking about the island, not the Marvel character. That makes sense. And after what happens, she believed John Kent had changed the future. She later met Supergirl, Batman, and Robin, who gave her a mission to use her powers to retrieve the Helmet of Fate. And during this mission, her powers expanded so that she could have visions while she was awake. In 2022, Nia attended Metropolis Pride. She later helped evacuate Metropolis. Unbeknownst to her, she was being observed by Amanda Waller, an intense agent who led the Suicide Squad, amongst other things. Waller later contacted her and tried to blackmail her into capturing a runaway member of the Suicide Squad. Afterthought. Worried about the people of the refugee town that she grew up in, Nia defeated Afterthought, though it turned out it was more of a test from Waller to prove if Nia could be controlled by threatening the ones that she loved. And Waller thought, yes, I can control her like this. Later, Waller threatened her people again and captured her to work with the Suicide Squad, using her powers to travel through the dream world and ensure that Gamora, that island, would not become something Waller and the US could not control. Through a vision, Nia learned that Waller was planning on taking control of Gamora herself, and Nia abandoned the mission, recruiting Harley Quinn in the process, and they, along with the Gamora army, stopped the Suicide Squad from succeeding. Nia lost consciousness in the effort and tried to enter the dreams of Waller to sway her from the path, but was not successful. However, I'm pretty sure that's kind of like where the story is right now. It's ongoing. So more to come. And if there's been any updates, write in. As mentioned, Maines, the actress portraying Nia, is a trans activist and was involved in a 2014 lawsuit that resulted in the first state court ruling that stated it was illegal to ban trans kids from bathrooms based on gender identity. She reportedly started asking questions like, when do I get to be a girl and when will my penis fall off, from as young as 2 years old. Her twin brother said while they were in elementary school, "Face it, Dad, you have a son and a daughter." She changed her name, got gender-affirming surgery, and decided to pursue acting as she got older. The 2015 book, Becoming Nicole, The Transformation of an American Family by Washington Post writer Amy Ellis Nutt, about her family and her gender identity, told their whole story. There are several articles that have delved into the differing gender identities of her and her twin brother. She was also featured in the documentary The Trans List and was in the horror movie Bit, about queer vampires, so I'm intrigued, and has a role in the second season of Yellow Jackets. She's also been involved in writing the comics for this character, which is awesome. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. So that's really cool. And again, listeners, if you have any comics you want to recommend, any corrections for me, if I got something wrong, please let us know. I'm also sorry, I tried to get it right. I always want to say Nia. It's Nia.
It's Nia.
Yes.
Yes, Nia and Kara.
I hope I got it right. Yes. But feel free to correct me on that as well. Yeah. And you can contact us with any suggestions for this segment or any thoughts at all at StephanieandMomStuff@iHeartMedia.com. You can find us on Twitter at MomStuffPodcast or on Instagram and TikTok at Stuff Mom Never Told You. We're on YouTube and we are on TeePublic. We have a store and we have a book you can get wherever you get your books. Thanks as always to our super producer Christina, our executive producer Maya, and our contributor Joey.
Thank you.
And thanks to you for listening. Stuff Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.